Good morning, dear students. I hope you all are fit and healthy. So, dear students, now we are going to study the anatomy of stem. To understand the anatomy of stem, first of all, we will see the diagrammatic representation of transverse section of sunflower, which is a dicot stem. So, here you are observing that the outermost layer is known as epidermis. This means the epidermis, it is the outermost protective covering of stem, and this epidermis is further covered by a thin layer of cuticle. So cuticle is present in stem, and in root there was no cuticle observed. Then the another difference is that this epidermis, it is giving rise to shoot hair. However, in roots there was root hair present, which is unicellular in nature, and this shoot hair, these are multicellular. Then after that, next to epidermis is a layer that is known as hypodermis. In this hypodermis, the cells are collenchyma. So the major role of collenchyma is to provide strength and support to the plant. So as stem needs support, therefore in the hypodermis the cells which are present are collenchyma. Then after that there is a cortex present, and this cortex, if we will compare it with roots, then this cortex is thin, and in root the cortex was wide. Then coming next to endodermis. So endodermis, it is just below the cortex, and here again we will observe that the cells, they are barrel shaped, and there will be no intercellular space present similarly in roots. But major difference is that the cells in the endodermis, they store starch. So therefore this endodermis is known as starch sheath. But in root, if you remember, in root there was Casparian strips present, in that suberin was deposited. So this is the major again difference between stem and root. Then next to endodermis is pericycle. This pericycle, this is the pericycle you are observing here. Pericycle is observed in semilunar patches. So pericycle is observed in semilunar patches, and it is just above the phloem. So this is the phloem, and it is just above the phloem, and the pericycle, it is found in semilunar patches. And the cells here in the pericycle, they are sclerenchyma cells. So sclerenchyma cells also provide support. So therefore the cells in the pericycle, they are sclerenchymatous. And since these semilunar patches, they are present just above the phloem, and therefore this is also known as hard bast. This pericycle, it provides mechanical support to plant since it has sclerenchyma cells, and the major characteristic feature of sclerenchyma is that there is a lignin deposition in that, due to which the cells are thickened and they are providing the mechanical support to the plant. Then next to pericycle, you observe here vascular bundles are present. The vascular bundles, they are conjoint, collateral and open. So in a root we have observed that the vascular bundles, they were arranged on different radius. However, in stem you are observing here the vascular bundles, that means xylem and phloem, they are present on the same radius, and they are in exarch condition. So before discussing that, let us see vascular bundles. It is consisting of xylem and phloem. First thing, this xylem and phloem, they are present on the same radius, and this condition is known as conjoint arrangement. And this conjoint arrangement of vascular bundles, it is again divided into two types, collateral and bicollateral. So you need to focus first of all only on collateral. This collateral subdivision of conjoint is again divided into two types, that is closed conjoint collateral type and open conjoint collateral type. The difference is that in closed conjoint collateral type, there will be no cambium present between phloem and xylem. However, in open conjoint collateral type, there will be cambium present, which is present between phloem and xylem. The major role of the cambium is to provide the secondary growth. So, secondary growth is responsible due to cambium, and we will observe that in the next videos that secondary growth, it is observed only in dicot plants. In monocot plant, there is no secondary growth. So this is the unique features of vascular bundles in dicot stem. Then after that, you need to know that the vascular bundles, they are found in endarch condition. Endarch condition means the protoxylem, it will be found inside, it will be found towards the pith, and metaxylem is found outside. However, in root there was exarch condition, exarch arrangement of xylem and phloem. Then after that, you are observing here, there is a space between the vascular bundles. So this space is known as medullary ray or pith ray. So medullary ray or pith ray, it basically consists of radial rows of big and rectangular parenchymatous cells, and this medullary ray, it lies between the vascular bundles. So pith ray, which is also known as medullary ray, it is present between the vascular bundles, and it also serves in the radial flow of water and food. Then after that, the central portion is known as pith, and it is a major portion of the stem. So this was the dicot stem, and we have observed the internal structure of the dicot stem using the diagram. Now we will study here the internal structure of the dicot stem again with the transverse section using this picture. So here in the picture, you are observing that the outermost layer is known as epidermis. This epidermis, it is covered with the layer that is known as cuticle, and it bears trichomes, and stomata is also present. The stomata and cuticle, they are found in stem, not in root. Then after the epidermis, there is a hypodermis. You are observing here, hypodermis, it is 4 to 5 cell thick layer of collenchymatous cells, and it is just below the epidermis. And the cells in the hypodermis, they are collenchymatous, means they will provide support to the stem. Then after that, there is a general cortex, and it is 1 to 2 layers. It is reduced to 1 to 2 layers, and here the cells, they are thin walled parenchymatous cells, and then next to cortex is the endodermis. Then innermost layer of cortex is known as endodermis. The cells are compactly arranged, and they are barrel shaped cells you are observing here, and there is no intercellular space present. And in the cells of endodermis there is a starch, so it is also known as starch sheath. Then next to endodermis is a 4 to 5 layer thick pericycle. The pericycle consists of sclerenchymatous cells. First thing is that the pericycle, it is found in semilunar patches just above the phloem. So there are semilunar patches of pericycle above the phloem, and the cells in the pericycle are sclerenchymatous. Then after that there is a vascular bundle present. So in vascular bundle, the cells, they are consisting of, vascular bundle consists of xylem and phloem, first thing, and there is a collateral open conjoint condition. So you observe here phloem, then after that cambium and metaxylem. This means it is a conjoint collateral open condition of vascular bundles, since cambium is present between phloem and xylem. Then if we consider the endark condition, you observe here protoxylem, it is towards the pith and metaxylem is on the opposite side. So since protoxylem is towards inner side towards pith, therefore this condition is known as endark condition. And there is a ray, that is medullary ray or pith ray, it is present between vascular bundles. On both the sides there is a vascular bundles. So this medullary ray or pith ray, it lies between vascular bundles and it helps in the conduction of water and food in radial direction. Then next is pith. In the pith you are observing it occupies a major portion of the stem and the cells are made up of parenchyma. So this was about the internal structure of dicot stem. So this is all for today. Take care everyone.